Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast. We're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau.
I'm Ryan Davis.
I'm Zach Wright.
And I'm Jordan.
Hello.
Hello.
And today we are bubble blowing double babies, or quadruple babies, as you may say.
You don't need a license to drive a sandwich.
You do not. But speaking of sandwiches, Zach, what challenge did you give us for this episode?
All right, I issued the challenge to Culture Ryan on the cultural phenomenon, cinematic masterpiece that is the Spongebob Squarepants movie. And let me tell you, everyone, it's a fucking banger still, okay?
It is still a banger. I agree.
Still a banger. This thing came out in 2004. Still lives up to its reputation. Directed, co-written, and produced by the series creator Steven Hillenburg. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yep.
This all-star voiceover cast. You have the whole entire regular animated cast, but then you got heavy hitters like Scarlett Johansson.
What?
Out of nowhere.
Alec Baldwin.
Where
and
were
Jeffrey
they at?
Tambor.
Scarlett Johansson was Mindy.
Mindy, the daughter.
Oh, that really?
Yep.
Yeah. And Alec Baldwin is Dennis, right?
I believe so, yes.
We don't double check. Hang on.
And David Hasselhoff. Come on, guys.
Yeah, sorry. The star of the show.
Alec Baldwin is the guy who tried to kill them?
Yeah, the hired hitman. Yeah.
Oof. Who's the king?
Yes,
then?
Alec Baldwin is Dennis.
Yes. What were you saying, Ryan?
Who was the king then?
The king was Jeffrey Tambor.
Who is he?
Jeffrey Tambor. He was entangled. I'm trying
If you look at his picture, you might recognize him.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, that guy who's in random roles. He was in Arrested Development. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page.
He kind of looks he looks like he could be related to Chevy Chase.
Yeah, but probably before.
Yeah,
he was in
he
Arrested
looks like
Development.
a skinny Chevy. He looks like a skinny Chevy Chase.
Yeah, probably less racist too. Maybe.
One would hope.
I would hope so.
But he had sexual misconduct allegations.
Uh-oh.
I feel like... Oh, yep, he did. Oh, whoops.
Oh.
Well, never mind.
Retract that statement, Zach.
Retract that statement. Never mind. Whoopsies. He's Scientologist? Oh, my God.
Oh, no. I just got more problematic as we went on.
Well, we're closing that Wikipedia tab. Holy shit. But with that...
Let's talk about what things we liked about SpongeBob the SquarePants movie. SpongeBob the SquarePants. That's the name of it.
Yep.
Zach, you want to start us off?
Fuck yeah, I do. This movie's great, guys. I don't care what you fucking say. This movie is a classic, all right? So quotable. Every line of this movie is amazing. I'm ready, depression. You don't need a license to drive a sandwich. All of it. Amazing.
Waiter.
Honestly.
Oh. How about you, Zach? Jordan. Wait, was this your first time watching, or have you seen this before?
Oh, I've seen it before.
Okay.
I love this movie. This has been the movie that it was one of the road trip movies that my brother and I would always watch. It was this. It was Like Mike. Those were our two. And Treasure Planet. Those are our three. Those are our three staples that we always had to watch.
Like Mike is a real outlier there.
Oh my God.
It really is.
Like Mike is so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like Mike. All right.
Next challenge. No. Anyways, it's just it's something that we just watched as a kid. Absolutely loved it. And even rewatching it now, it's still such a good movie. And it's funny. It's iconic. It's just SpongeBob, right? It's peak SpongeBob.
Yeah. How about you, Ryan? This is your first time watching anything
Ryan.
SpongeBob.
Give us your unadulterated thoughts on their first time watching SpongeBob, the movie.
Give us your kid thoughts.
So the viewers, for context, my parents forbid SpongeBob and forever in my childhood because they were afraid it would make me stupid.
Which is wrong.
And they were wrong.
No, to this day, I thank them and thank you, Mom and Dad, for not letting me watch SpongeBob. I don't think I would have made it to college.
Bob. Look, Ryan, I watched SpongeBob when I grew up, and I turned out fine.
I'm glad you did. I would not have. um, yeah, I know. I watching this movie last night, I was very much like, what the hell? I was like, thank God this is an hour and a half. But I was genuinely surprised there was an actual plot.
Mhm.
I was really expecting it to just be like the usual jokes and, brain melts like humor, which there was still some of. But I was like, oh, there's an actual plot. And a like slightly like darkish plot. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I can respect this plankton. Go ahead, take over the world, kill SpongeBob.
Go off,
please.
Queen.
I finally saw where the "we paid $9" meme came from, so that was cool. And I did like the blend of live action animation when they were in Shell City, which I like the twist that it wasn't actually a city. I was really expecting it to be like I don't know. I've seen like some context of like Mad Max SpongeBob. I don't know where that's from, but that's what I was expecting when they got to Shell City. But I did not like the Hasselhoff ride along. That was just weird. That I was very disturbed by that.
All right. Fair
Kevin, what
enough,
about
I
you?
guess. Well, I mean, I've seen this movie many times growing up, and then watching it again, I'm like, I like this movie a lot. I think it's a very good movie. One thing I thought was really interesting watching it this time around was like how it created dramatic conflict to make an engaging film while never losing focus of what makes the show work. And there's also like that where SpongeBob wants to be a manager, but like no one's gonna let him be a manager because he's too immature. And then like it actually parallels, like, it's kind of perpendicular with Mindy's conflict, which is she's gonna become the ruler of the sea one day, but she's more mature than her father. So both Mindy's and SpongeBob stories are like perpendicular to each other, but they're intentional because of how they pay off towards the end, which I thought was really interesting and how it really ties the movie together with all its subplots going on. But yes, it's also like a really great example of how to turn a 10-minute comedy into a 90-minute movie without losing sight of what makes it good in the first place.
The other sequels, though, however, don't do that. Don't watch
The other sequels do not.
But the other sequels have Keanu Reeves in it.
The one of them does.
The newest one, I believe.
Yes, it is the newest one. It's also the worst one.
Oof.
But yeah, so like when it comes to like SpongeBob, it's like I always think of it as like 3 seasons and this movie, because the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob still have that story element to it in each of its shorts, because it's still like there's still a lesson at the end of the day. And then after season 3, Phil Tippett, whatever his name, takes over the show, while Steven Hillenburg worked on this movie, and then he left SpongeBob completely after that.
Right. But yeah, no. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, very good. I'm gonna go through some of the quotes that I like the best, because this one I just found I forgot about. Karen, baby, I haven't felt this giddy since the day you agreed to be my wife. I never agreed.
Good. Yeah. My favorite gag is when Mr. Krabs is on fire. It's like, oh, like I'm on, my clothes are on fire, my underpants are on fire, I'm on fire. Jumps into the water and he comes out and his clothes are back on.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a nice visual gag.
But how's he on fire underwater?
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Whoa. Hey. You shut your whore mouth, all right?
Oh my god.
There is an episode that talks about it, and then the fire instantly dies.
Which is hilarious.
I was like, I find the appeal of like nothing making sense in SpongeBob more.
My question for Ryan is,
anything else.
does Ryan have any questions about what you watched? Anything you filled in on? Anything that makes sense? Did it make sense?
Oh, everything. Here's the thing. Everything made sense except that it doesn't make sense. Like I told you, the most confusing thing was how is he on fire underwater? Like that was pretty much it. Like everything else was pretty much straightforward. I mean, it's SpongeBob. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand SpongeBob. Hell, you don't have to have a first grade education to understand SpongeBob. But
you actually do get more out of it if you understand like marine biology, because Steven Hillenburg, who created the show, is a marine biologist.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or was he really?
No, he was, yeah. So like, and then he used to teach it as well. So like, so a lot of like the early parts of SpongeBob and the creation world building of SpongeBob are based on like real scientific things. Wow. When you understand like these concepts, like it becomes a lot more interesting.
Huh.
that's actually interesting.
Yeah.
I did like the pirates thing. That threw me off. The pirates thing.
Yeah, so
Just
that's something that
coming
comes
in
with watching this show. It's always like a gag where it's always like Patchy the pirate, where it's like he's the one who's the world #1 SpongeBob fan. So like the live actions, live action pirates is what like it's a picture in at the beginning of the episode, like the "Are you ready, kids?" That's Patchy.
Oh, okay. I was just like, all right. It made sense in the beginning. I was like, oh, this is the joke they found. SpongeBob tickets or whatever. When they showed it later, I was like, are they influencing the movie now? What's
My
happening?
favorite. I think you should watch the lost episode of SpongeBob. That's a trick right there.
Oh, that's an interesting
That's
one.
an episode of just the pirate.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
The
one.
lost episode of SpongeBob.
The only SpongeBob segment is just him walking.
Just him walking. That's all it is. Just la 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 la. It's like that's it. That's all there is.
There was definitely. Yeah,
Cool.
pretty much it.
All right, cool. We want to take a quick break and come back?
Yep.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan, and you've probably heard me on an episode or two, but did you know I also have a baking channel? Bluebell Bake is by the amateur baker for the amateur baker. On the channel, I'll be posting recipes, tips and tricks, and more so we can all learn to better our baking skills. You can find my channel on YouTube at Bluebell Bake, we're currently posting monthly, or on Instagram and TikTok, both at bluebell.bake. Come join our little community where no matter what happens, we keep on baking.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crpwrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
And welcome back to Committee Critics as we continue to talk about the Spongebob Squarepants movie. Specifically, one thing we did not like or don't think we quite holds up to everything. My thing that I don't care for too much, or at least I think could improve the movie even more, is that I think it doesn't utilize all of the main cast enough. Specifically, it needs more Gary and Sandy. Sandy is like barely in the movie, and like by this time in the show, she is one of the more prominent characters.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. Yeah, Sandy and Gary really don't get the love they deserve. Like I think in the movie, Sandy's just there for the opening, and like then she gets a bucket on her head, and that's it.
No, she's a
Yeah.
squirrel, and then she's also on the hamster wheel.
Oh yeah, Power
Yeah.
Animal.
Yeah.
How many seasons have been out at this point when this movie came out?
I think the 4th season was airing while this came out.
And like there's
Okay.
definitely like the karate episode. Like so Sandy was like definitely
The
a prominent
karate episode was
character.
like way back in like season 1 or 2.
Right, yeah,
Like,
karate.
Sandy's like in
Texas.
the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, so friend of the show, Danny Vincent, like, he made a video essay in college that he even though he says that it was kind of like a blow off assignment, I still think it has some merit to it about like how you can tell the different levels of media landscape based on the first and second SpongeBob movies because of how they came out in different political eras of America.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like this movie right here was when George Bush was president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So we were under like a Republican America, and the second movie was under Obama's presidency. So we were under Democratic America. And you can tell because in interesting ways, like there was in the second movie, Sandy has a much more prominent role in the movie, and whereas in the first one she has a less prominent role, which is kind of like the role of women in Republican media versus Democratic media. And there's also like a few other examples as well that I think is very interesting. Again, Danny would say that it was a blow-off assignment. I think there's some merit to it. We'll put a link to that in the description.
Nice. Ryan, go ahead.
So I still have a burning desire to incinerate Patrick from the face of the universe.
Why?
Your dad?
Oh man,
Patrick
not
Starfish.
Patrick Davis.
No, I love my father. I'm sorry that he has to share a name with the idiot that is Patrick
You're my
Starfish.
dad. Boogie,
You
woogie,
know why
woogie.
he's an idiot?
Why?
Because he lives under a rock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are you trying to say about homeless people, Jordan?
Nothing.
Patrick, this entire movie is like what, like I can tolerate SpongeBob, but Patrick makes me want to like shoot myself. Like I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Who eats a
Um,
Krabby Patty at 3 a.m.?
Oh,
boy, 3 a.m.
Yep. Nope.
That one kills me. I love that quote.
I also just thought about it. The Deus Ex Machina that is the diver dude or whatever. I was just
Yeah.
like, that was just random. It was like that kind of ended the movie very quickly. they would
Ryan,
not have been
Ryan, how can you say that?
What?
There's always a bigger fish.
Oh no, the bigger fish was during the monster thing when they ate the. That thing was
Yeah.
terrifying.
It happens
That was
twice.
that's the setup.
That's the setup.
Oh, it's supposed to happen twice. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's so the monster thing eating the paddy wagon is the setup of like working against SpongeBob and Patrick, and then the whole diver situation is working with SpongeBob and Patrick is the payoff.
Okay, got
And you love your prequels. There you go. There's a Qui-Gon Jinn quote for you.
It is a Qui-Gon Jinn quote. See, that's what this movie need more of.
More
Neeson.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes, we just need to throw in Qui-Gon Jinn.
Can you imagine if Liam Neeson it was the person like the lifeguard instead of David Hasselhoff?
Oh, I would go. He should at least been the diver. At least it's like there's always a bigger fish.
Well,
Yeah,
the whole David Hasselhoff is a Baywatch reference.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I got
Okay,
that.
we understand the reference, Kevin. Don't get me wrong. It's just very dated for this.
Yeah.
You say that like there wasn't a David Hasselhoff reference in Guardians 2.
Well, yeah, but like that makes sense because like Star-Lord grew up in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Like it plays in like kids don't understand who. Like I understand it's probably more for the parents, like the David Hasselhoff reference.
Mhm.
But,
I mean,
like-
this was 2004. Like
When did Baywatch end? I feel like Baywatch was the 80s.
Baywatch was 80s. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, it was 80s.
Not the
But like
movie.
people still watched it in 2004 because of the reruns.
Okay, yeah,
That's
show ran.
Oh, yeah, Baywatch was 2001.
99, yeah.
Oh,
89?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
89 2001.
Dang.
Well,
that was a long
2001
show.
was Hawaii, so I don't know if Hasselhoff was in that.
How many episodes can you make about a lifeguard team?
God, there's a
Like,
lot of
almost-
Baywatch. Holy shit!
I was like, these are just people drowning. What the heck?
It's drowning and
I mean-
sex, Ryan.
I mean, look at Grey's Anatomy.
You got
Yeah,
a
you're right.
point there. I was like, how? But like, okay, you can find a new medical emergency. There's always a new medical emergency happening.
I
We
don't
just
know
went
why I
through
thought
one.
Baywatch
But,
was like
like-
4 seasons.
I did too. I was like, you can't do more than like 2 or 3 seasons of Baywatch. Like, it's just
No,
like,
man,
oh,
Baywatch had like a grasp on pop culture, man. Baywatch and MASH.
Okay, I really
Mm.
want to know. Like, is it more than just drowning and sex? Like, they do more than with Baywatch? Or
Next
what?
I mean, we
challenge,
can
we're
watch-
watching the original Baywatch series.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
How many episodes of Baywatch are there?
There's a lot.
That's gotta be at least 1,000. if it went
11
for, like,
seasons
10
of 22 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's
Ooh.
okay. That's not 1,000, but like at least like
That's not
Yeah,
that.
David Hasselhoff is in 220 episodes of Baywatch, all the way
That's
to the year 2000.
242 episodes of Baywatch.
Wait, how many?
242.
242. So there are 22 episodes without David Hasselhoff.
Jesus. Those are probably the ones in Hawaii.
Probably.
Hasselhoff
'cause, like,
was in the Hawaii
Hasselhoff-
reboot.
Oh, yeah. Like his last year credited is 2000. Everyone else looks like
Yeah.
98, 97.
Was he in the new movie with the Rock?
He might have
Zac
had like
Efron?
he might have had a cameo.
That's what I'm assuming. Like I'm assuming they brought that original cast back to do something.
He was the mentor in the new one, and Pamela Anderson was Captain Casey Jean Parker.
Oh jeez. Wow, we went down a Baywatch tangent. Thanks,
But that's-
SpongeBob.
That's my thing. I did like the David Hasselhoff reference. That's one thing I'm not a big fan of. Like it's funny, but like didn't really understand it until I really grew up. Like, oh, David Hasselhoff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair. No, like that one's for the adults at the time for sure. Like
Yeah,
like grandmas watch Baywatch.
and grandmas were like, "Oh my God, David Hasselhoff."
It was like
exactly.
his chest is flexing and shooting sponges and starfishes. Yeah, what was the joke? What was the thing they said about his chest? Like it's the elevator down or something like that, or the system? I don't. They called it something.
Hang on, I'll look it up. Keep talking.
Because I was just like, I didn't get the reference. I was like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, Jordan, what's one? Okay, so we were basically already talked about that. Jordan didn't like, but is there anything else that you didn't like, Jordan?
Absolutely not. No, this movie is perfect.
Okay,
but
so Ryan hates this movie. I don't like that.
Look, here's the thing. I did not grow up watching SpongeBob, and watching this now, I literally felt like I was like, all right, this is like, it's a good thing I watched this at 2 a.m. because I was like, all right, my brain is fried enough that this is like slightly entertaining.
I will say, Ryan, that I technically I was not really allowed to watch SpongeBob until late elementary school, early middle school. So my parents were not a big fan of the earlier SpongeBob. They did not like it. They thought it was a little inappropriate for my age. Even though we watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, so I don't really know where the line was drawn then.
Yeah,
but I still,
You're not allowed to watch the jokes on TV, but you can watch SpongeBob's butt.
Yeah, and Patrick's.
Here's the only thing I'll ever disagree with them on was Power Rangers and Pokemon, and I got back with that. I watched Power Rangers and Pokemon, but SpongeBob, I agree with them 100%. I'm happy. To this day, I was like, I'm fine never having seen an episode. Everyone makes the meme references or the jokes, and I'm just like, huh?
I forgot about the bag of wind scene.
My parents did try to limit me from watching SpongeBob when I was younger, like other cartoons similar to like Ed, Edd and Eddie and stuff like that. But I don't
Courage.
know. I was allowed to actually to watch Courage.
You were allowed to watch Courage?
I was allowed to watch that. I was allowed to watch Courage.
Oh, my parents hated Courage. I still watched it, but they were not happy.
It's nightmare fuel, but I mean, I was allowed to watch it.
That was strange, but no, I love Courage, but no, I don't know. For me personally, I'm like, I wish I watched more SpongeBob as a kid because I think it like fuels a lot of creativity. At least as I got older. But I can definitely see like the negative impact of SpongeBob, but you know, it's all about being a good parent and understanding your kids and what they can understand and what they don't understand.
I will say this, when I told my dad, I was like, we're watching SpongeBob, he was like, y'all are running out of ideas, aren't you? I'm like,
No, Patrick.
Trust me. I have a ton of ideas left.
No, Patrick, we're just cultured.
All right, Zach, did you find the thing you were looking for?
No, I couldn't find it. I can't remember what they called Hasselhoff's chest.
All right. Cool. All right, moving on to our final thoughts then. For me, I have not seen the regular show movie yet, although I hear it's great. But until I see that, this movie is the prime example of how to turn a 10-minute comedy show into a feature film. Like I said, really great at infusing dramatic conflict into something that doesn't typically have it, and then making an engaging 90-minute movie out of it. It's unfortunate that the other two SpongeBob movies did not learn that lesson.
Ryan.
I will never probably ever watch this again, like unless someone like forces me to. But
just wait till I challenge you to rewatch it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All of Zach's challenges is just like rewatching the Spongebob Squarepants movie.
Until I slowly lose my mind.
Every 2 months we're watching the Spongebob Squarepants movie.
The announcer is for Hasselhoff's chest just says initiating launch sequence.
Initiating launch sequence. 10, 9, 8.
Also, no one can ever judge me again for not having seen SpongeBob now. So take that. I know.
Oh, we can still judge you.
No more judgment. I've seen what apparently is peak SpongeBob. According
you
to
still
guys,
have 3 seasons of good SpongeBob to watch, sir.
I don't know what 3 seasons you're talking about.
Well, we can at least judge you for your taste in SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that.
All right, what about you, Zach?
10 out of 10. Perfect.
Fair
movie.
enough. Ooh. Jordan?
I'm a goofy goober! Yeah!
Bam-ba-da-da-da.
That's really it.
Jeez.
Cool. Well, on that note, it is my turn to pick. If I'm correct, I
Yes.
looked back at past episodes and like I think I'm next. I'm gonna pick a 2019 movie called The Farewell, which is gonna be a very huge shift from the SpongeBob SquarePants.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
You know, it's still it's a comedy drama, starring Aquafina, and it's streaming on Canopy, which starts with a K. Canopy is free through your local library. If you guys don't have Canopy, I'll just give you my login because unlike certain streaming services, they're totally okay with password sharing.
Oh,
Oh, call him out.
Yeah. But so The Farewell, the synopsis is a headstrong Chinese American woman returns to China when her beloved grandmother is given a terminal diagnosis. Billy struggles with her family's decision to keep grandma in the dark about her own illness as they all stage an impromptu wedding to see grandma one last time.
no. Okay.
So, yeah. It'll get you in the feels, but there's also some good jokes in there along the way. And I will also let you know it is 50-50 English and Chinese spoken language.
Oh, okay.
You want me to read subtitles?
Ryan, you read subtitles all the time. I know you watch your anime subbed.
No, I don't. Thank you very much. I actually watch it dubbed, except for like a few shows. So take
Exactly.
that.
I know you're used to it. If you want to hear the rest of our thoughts and other talkers, tune into our full episode over on Patreon. Link to that below in the description. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Crits. That's COMMITDED CRITS. YouTube Committed Critics. And special thanks to our current patrons: David Peppers from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kolakowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, Jody Wright, Brandon Morales, and Devin Vonderhyde. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.